I've said it many times.
Hello my beautiful love goods, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're building another tiny house, and this one is using custom content, so I will be sure to leave links in the description down below to the CC that I used. But for the most part I used Peacemaker's CC, which is a staple here on this channel. Someone actually said that I was, one of the biggest Peacemaker stans out there, and I'm not going to disagree with that because it's 1000% true. So yeah, just be sure to check out that link as well as the other links to some of the other CC that I used. A lot of it, I think I used Picture Amoeba as well. I think that's kind of it. Oh, that's actually a lie. I also used, I'm pretty sure I used the Cottage Garden and the Rustic Romance fan-made stuff packs by Plum Bob Tea Society. Yeah, just check the links in the description because my memory is horrible. I still have builds on my computer that I've recorded like 2 weeks ago and haven't edited yet because I just completely forgot that they existed. So yeah, it's pretty easy for me to forget things, but anyway, this is just a simple tiny house. I actually saw a tiny house tour recently on the channel Tiny House Giant Journey, and it was definitely a big inspiration behind this house. It was very bright and light and rustic, but it was very much a Pinterest rustic is what I call it. So that's what I'm calling this tiny house. It's a Pinterest rustic tiny house. It's just very like rustic, shabby chic kind of. It's a little bit on the modern side too, so it's really, really cute. I actually love it so much. Like, I'm obsessed with it. But oh yeah, also some other CC that I'm using. I just looked at the screenshots at the end, and I noticed a little bit more. I'm using some content by Illogical Sims as well as Brazen Lotus. Brazen Lotus is pretty much a staple in the CC community. So yeah, I used their separated beds, which are a blessing. Let me tell you, having the ability to mix and match the frames and the beds is such a cool thing, just simply because, I like being able to use, the beds that we have in game already without using CC beds, but this kind of allows me to have a little bit more flexibility with them. So yeah, they're so nice. It's so fun to mix and match. But yeah, anyway, also something too, before I forget, Peacemaker actually just released a new kitchen set. It's actually it's a little bit on the modern side, definitely, but for sure it can be used in many different types of styled builds. I use it in this one, even though this is more a tiny rustic house. It definitely has those modern elements, so the kitchen it's very nice. I really, really like this house a lot. I'm kind of obsessed with it, and I'm very, very, very proud of it. But anyway, this house is available on the Sims 4 gallery. All you have to do is search for my username lukeydean and the hashtag Lukey to find it. And again, it does contain custom content. So on the left side of the gallery, console, I guess you could call it, the menu, that's the word, there is a little box that you have to click that says allow custom content. So it's under the advanced section, or maybe it says include. I always forget. It's a Mandela effect. Is it include, is it allow? I'm not really sure, but it's something of that. You just have to click that little box, and then it will show you anything that's on the gallery that contains custom content. So that's the only way that would be able to see this actual build, because I did use CC, like I said, and yeah, it was so much fun to build this house. I loved the colors and just the style and even the location. I'm building this in Brindleton Bay on one of the lots that doesn't have a road connected to it or anything. It's in the top right corner section of the world. I love this little area. It's so, I don't know, it's just so peaceful and kind of isolated, but still close enough to everything. And I don't know, it's just very pretty. And I love the grass in this world too. Yeah, everything about it. It's really, really nice. So yeah, I definitely recommend Cats and Dogs. If you are looking for an expansion pack that you really want a nice world and fun gameplay and items and stuff, I definitely recommend Cats and Dogs above anything else. Get Together is definitely there as well. Those two worlds are really, really amazing. And yeah, just But anyway, if you just have the base game though, and you really don't want to bother with buying any packs or anything, Peacemaker is definitely like one of my favorite custom content creators out there, as well as the Plum Bob Tea Society. Their stuff is base game compatible for the most part. And Brazen Lotus has a lot of stuff. Picture Amoeba has a lot of stuff. A lot of Picture Amoeba stuff is recolors, but it's honestly so nice to have a variety of colors. Let's be real, because sometimes the Sims team, they don't do a lot of colors on some of their things. Particularly certain counters and stuff. Like we don't have a lot of options, so custom content is there to save us. So yeah, but anyway, this house has, let's see if I can remember correctly. It has a kitchen, it has a living room, a bathroom, and then there is just an upstairs bedroom space. And I definitely would love to, build a house like this in this particular style and expand it. Like take this house and just expand it out a bit, because I feel like, with my tiny houses, you can easily expand them pretty nicely. Like it's pretty simple, because they're rectangles essentially. They're just a couple rectangles, and if you just add another square box to the side of it, or to the back of it, or to the front of it, and just kind of copy paste all of the styled things like the columns and windows, stuff like that, it will work. Like it's that easy with building and stuff. So yeah, sometimes that's all you have to do is just copy paste, make things look consistent, and it works. And yeah, I don't know what I was going for there, but anyway, there's also a little hangout space out the front. I didn't really bother with doing like a backyard space, just because I really thought, putting emphasis on the front here would make it a lot more convivial, a lot more, communal. Like they have a lot more people over, and there's a beatbox there, and there's I think I put a garden. Maybe I don't put any garden plants. What am I saying? Garden plots? Woo! I mean, it is a garden plot. Technically, it's a plot that you plant in, but it's a pot. I'm losing my mind. I'm sorry. I haven't recorded voiceover in a while. I've been doing this thing where I record a bunch of videos, and then I edit them all in one day, and then do all the voiceovers in one day, and then I go over a week or so without actually recording any voiceover, which is probably not smart to do that, because I lose the ability to put two words together, because that's a skill that I apparently have lost. And it shows. So yeah, I did a little bit of a cobblestone pathway. These are just these little they're rugs from Get Together, but they are like little stone circles, and I sized them down with the bracket keys in order to get all those varying sizes, so that it looks like an actual pathway that was intentional. It's really cute. I really love doing that. I don't do it enough in my builds, to be honest, but it's just mainly because it's time consuming, and it's very detail oriented. So I thought it would work here really well, because there's just a little bit of a path there, and I didn't want to use terrain paint directly to the end of the lot, because the lot just kind of cuts it off, and there's not really a path outside of the lot. So I thought this would at least kind of give it a little bit of something, I guess. I don't know where I was going there, again, because I'm losing it. But anyway, this house is pretty big for a tiny house, I would say. I tend to build the houses a bit bigger in scale, because just because it's The Sims, and if I built it really, really tiny, it would just be it would be very hard to see into these houses with the camera and stuff. It would also be hard to play into. I don't build houses in The Sims to specifically play in. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I build it just because I like the aesthetics, and that's all I really focus on is the aesthetics, because that's just how I play my game. But it's definitely bigger to scale for that reason. So I can focus on the details more. But yeah, but it is a very simple house. It's just kind of a rectangular shape with an upstairs loft. I do use the configurable stairs just because we have them now, and I kind of can't stop using them because they're super fun. And it did save a little bit of space too, and it does change up how I lay out the floor plans now, which is super amazing, because having a straight up and down staircase can be a little bit in the way sometimes, and just kind of making it a little curved and just kind of putting it into a smaller footprint, I guess, makes it a lot better. But yeah, anyway, the kitchen, super nice. I've made sure to put a nice little rug in there, I don't want to say this is a copper sink because it's not the exact color that I usually go for, but yeah, it's a copper sink in my opinion. It's a farm sink, which I love farm sinks. They're so pretty. They're very big, but they're very pretty. So yeah, I just like using them. And the tiling in here is actually Peacemaker's tiling. We received in the more recent patch, I can't remember if it's the last one or the one before that, we did get a patch fixing the columns issue, which is great. I love that they fixed that, but they also didn't fix the issues with the plants being all jittery and stuff like that. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, the tiling in the bathroom as well as in the kitchen on the floor, that's actually from Peacemaker, and we received those tiles on the wall in a recent patch update, and Peacemaker essentially took those tiles and he made a full wall version, not just like a half wall version, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the tiles are halfway up the wall and then the rest is like a paint color. He made a version that is just the full wall is tiles, and he also made tiles for the floor, so it's like a nice little set, and I'm obsessed with using them. They're nice and simple, but they've got a little bit of detail, and it just works really well with his custom content. I think it just works really well with kind of any CC that's like this anyway. But yeah, anyway, I'm working on the living room here. The living room floor plan and layout, that's what I was trying to say together. But the living room layout here, it's a little bit complicated because I decided to put 2 double doors in this house for some weird reason. I mean, the one that I was watching, the tiny house tour, they actually did have 2 French door like spaces on the front of the house, but it worked really well because they used it for like open air, and they would like open their doors up and the air would flow, and it's just so pretty. I would love that in my own tiny house if I ever built that myself in the future one day, which may happen. Not really. I don't know. You never know what's going to happen, but I thought it would look really nice, but it also took up a lot of space in this house. So I made sure I had to finagle with it a bit in order to figure out a proper floor plan layout kind of thing. And again, I was also having trouble figuring out colors as well. I do settle on doing like a kind of light blue accent. This rug here, it's actually Brazen Lotus did like a rug set that it's for like the Salvadorian kind of style, and this blue and white rug here, it's so like, I don't know, it just kind of reminds me of that like China that you see that's like blue and white, and it's very like rustic farmhouse vibes. And I don't know why, but I loved the way it looked in this house, even though it probably is a bit more, a little bit more related to the Salvadorian culture. I just really liked it in this house, and it had the little tassels on it too, so it's really cute. Brazen Lotus has some amazing rugs, by the way. Let me just tell you, Brazen Lotus has a set of rugs that are stunning, and I definitely recommend downloading them because they're nice and boho and rustic, but also they can kind of fit with any style that you're going for, whether it's modern, whether it's alpha CC, max's match, whatever you're going for. I think they work really nicely, so I definitely recommend checking them out. I will be sure to link that in the description specifically because I love those rugs so much. And the cool thing is I actually downloaded a program called the Sims 4 Tray Importer, and essentially people use that a lot for, like exporting packages of their builds and stuff. But what I'm using it for, I am using it to find the links to all of my CC, because you can basically go into that program, and as long as you have something saved to your library, it will find it for you, and you can go to that specific thing. You can export it as a package file. You can do anything you want, but also you can go into what CC you used, and basically you go to that and you right click it, and then you hit find on Google, and it will, for the most part, find it, because sometimes things disappear or the links change or the names change, or maybe some things just don't work. I don't know, but it does help you find the custom content. So even if I can't find those links or I forget, because that happens, you can also do that yourself too, because it knows what CC is in that thing, even if it's not on my computer or on your computer. Pretty cool. This bed here is also by Brazen Lotus. Again, it's one of the liberated beds that I'm not sure of the gender, they created versions of, and it's so nice. I use this white bed. I'm pretty sure this is from the city living bed, and then the frame is obviously from the one from Outdoor Retreat, and that blanket is a blanket from the Seasons bed. So it's like 3 different things in one, and it fits so well together. I love the simplicity of it. I am so in love with that. I wish I could just leave them in my game all the time, but it's still custom content. So I like to do CC free builds most of the time, but doing these little CC builds, I like doing that, especially builds like this. Another creator that I used a couple items from is Harry here on YouTube. She's amazing. I'm pretty sure I did. Maybe I didn't, but even if I didn't, definitely check out Harry here on YouTube. Her builds, oh my goodness, her builds are perfection. She's like probably up there with like one of my absolute favorite Sims 4 builders, not just on YouTube, but in general. Like right up there with like Schnook01 and Miss Griffey, of course. We love Miss Griffey on this channel. We love her tiny builds. We love the squish. Very big fan of the squish. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be getting some of her merch, possibly, maybe. I don't know. I'm a very frugal person, and I don't like spending money, but also at least supporting a friend and a fellow creator, and she's really, really cool, and her stuff looks hella cute. But anyway, I just kind of blasted through all this, and obviously this house is for a couple of designers in my head, because that's basically every build, because every build is my dream home. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this build. Be sure to check out the links in the description to the custom content down below, and be sure to leave any build suggestions that you have for me in the comments as well. It's a very big help to me. It just gives me a little bit of inspiration once in a while whenever I totally don't know what to do. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you all so very much for watching. Stay weird and beware of the nargles.
When all the crows decide to meet, they settle down beneath my feet. I've got it right and I got it wrong, but I learned my lesson hanging on. Come sit here with me by the fire and let it go for a little while. So be here as the night starts falling. Let my fingers walk over your head. We got nothing to be scared of. I'd rather be with you than by myself. Now all is in your head.